Hey, I'm Kev Kems. Welcome back to MotoGP 18, where Mario's on a streak. Not the kind he wants though, as he's lost the championship lead and has fallen back behind his Ducati stablemate Andrea Dovizioso. Can he gain some ground on the second visit to Spain round the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya? As here goes Mario then for the first of two possible qualifying efforts, as he's got to beat a 1:39.6 from Nespargaro on home turf. As he gets it a bit ragged in the braking, so somehow he hits the apex for the first corner. But you're going to get that a lot into that first corner. Very heavy braking zone. And then the rest of the circuit, not as heavy as that. But you do get quite a few passing spots on the bike, at least. Got the back straight, you got that corner, that right-hander. Where if you get side by side, then you can try and outbrake them into the left-hander here, down the hill. As Mayo's up just to go to the bottom of the hill. Say that, it's now 7/10 apparently. As we climb up the hill towards Camps, so one of the most important corners on the circuit, as it leads onto this back straight. It'll be nice and smooth on the power and then heavy on the brakes. Not too heavy though. There's advantage 1.4 up now. As we go up the hill. And then these fast and flowing last couple of corners where even on a bike can still find some passing spots. As you frame you saw back in 2019, Lorenzo and Rossi into this final corner. When they were Yamaha teammates before Rossi headed off to Ducati. Of course, Lorenzo there some years later with a bit more success, a bit like Mayo on the Ducati, as he qualifies on top in qualifying one and goes through the qualifying two alongside Danny Pedrosa, the home hero, ahead of Paul Espargaro. The great lap on the KTM, just not good enough to go through. Big shot, Petrucci down in fourth. Looking further down, you got the Brits together, Smith and Redding down in 8th and 9th, and Nakagami in last. So here goes Mayo for two possible laps in qualifying two to beat Dovi's 1:37.5. Braked a bit early maybe into that first corner, but much smoother on this occasion. The Ducatis are flying around and he's 2 tenths up. Fantastic first two corners. And you've got to be careful getting on the power through that right-hander. Maybe in an F1 car it's flat out, but on a MotoGP motorbike definitely is not. And then these sections, again, as I said, could go side by side in the race. Wonderful flowing sections. So go downhill through the left. Oh, this is much better than qualifying one. He's actually hooking up apexes. But he's almost 3 tenths up. He's almost losing it on the rear, getting on the power. Saves it. Then through Camps, although a bit wide. Braked a bit too late for the corner. Couldn't use that engine braking. So once again, very heavy braking into the hairpin. Too heavy braking. As he goes uphill, very wide. And gets on the power hard. Let's go downhill through this right hand, and then the last corner as well, slightly downhill. So easily go wide in both corners. But Mario going towards the line, it's not quick enough, is it? Just 37.6. Got a 10th to find. Once again, nice and smooth in the first couple of corners. Apparently he's 3 tenths up now. And he's made a bit of a haulix on the entrance to the right-hander. Well, good exit. Good straight line, getting on the power a bit. And then let the bike roll a bit wide for that right-hander, and then get on the power as early as he can. Has he got the low fever on the inside of the right hand? It may not be Italy, but you still get that everywhere with Rossi fans. There's now Mayo 4 tenths up. He didn't go wide there. How about through camps or uphill? Oh, hooked that apex up beautifully. Maybe a bit slow. Maybe braking a bit too much. This is the 10th up though. He has outbraked himself into the hairpin. As we go uphill through the last couple of corners. Well, quite an adventure this, that. Especially now you got this right-handed back and you got this natural flow in the last couple of corners. It's fantastic. Of course, that chicane doesn't work at the best of times in the car. Definitely not on the bike though. As Mayo goes second. As Marcus bips him by just a 10th, does the home here with Alex Rins in a superb third on the Suzuki. Then Jack Miller leads the second row ahead of Dovi and Rossi. Then you got Pedrosa, Vinales and Crutcho. And then Lorenzo Zarco and Iannone for a normal 4th row. But those first 3 rows are definitely not what can we expect in the race. Marcus v McDonald into the first corner. So here's Mayo revving up in the middle of the front row, waiting for the lights to go out. Has to go pretty early. Seems to catch Mayo out. But despite a poor start, he's only dropped down to 6th. As Crutcho has a little look. Droza got a good start. And Mayo slots into 4th though. As is that Miller leading. Jack Miller, welcome to the party. As Dobby takes it back. And Marcus sitting in 3rd. But watch out for the Premet boys, Dobby and Marcus. Well, the Yamaha boys are battling over 9th. Not a good start for Vinales and Rossi. So here comes Crotchlow in 5th on his LCR. Good start for the Satellite. Fellas has McDonald round the outside of Miller though. Maybe got held up in front. And now May all over the back of Marquez. He's got Vinales on the charge, up to 7th ahead of Rins. And here comes Crutchlow. The Brit on the charge on the opening of that, trying to go for a podium. May holds him off just about holds him off with the right hander as well. He's going to the penultimate corner. Got Ducati and Honda battling in front for first. And then we've got the best of the Satellite bikes battling over 3rd. Another Ducati and Honda. As Vinales' charge seems to have halted. He's down to 10th now, battling for Petrucci. Just behind Rossi. As Mayo got a long race here. He's got the sink of protecting these tyres as Pedro, so getting passed by Rossi. How many times that happened, unfortunately, to the Honda ride in his career? He's got Iannone battling over 14th. Poor start for the Suzuki ride. He's not been so good. But he's getting past Home Hero T2 about into 13th now. And Jack Miller. His 15 seconds of fame quickly over. Overtaking the lead, now battling for 6th with Alex Rins. Well, Mayo slotting into the best seat in the house. By Marcus and Dovi. Maybe he doesn't want to push too hard in these early stages. As always, gone a bit wide there. That's a bit sloppy. As Dovi takes back the lead for Marcus. Maybe just let those two duel it out. And he can save the tyres. As Chapman now batting over 10th with his teammate Petrucci. He's out the top 10. 15 seconds fame is definitely over. As we go on to the 3rd lap. As Nakagami gets in the top 20 ahead of Bradley Smith. You've got Crutchlow, Renzo that rounds out the top 5 ahead of Rins. Vinales on the move up to 7th ahead of Rossi. And you've got Danny down to 9th. Slipping back in the order. And Miller just holding on to a top 10. There's Zarco down in 23rd. What has happened to the Tech 3 rider? Spargo looking to get some more points for KTM in 14th. Got battle of the rookies there. Morbidelli and Nakagami over 19th. Seems to be a good battle as well, as they're behind the Aprilia teammates. Reddy and Spargo are battling over 17th. They're going to add another point onto the total. So on this third lap, Mayo starting to slip back slightly. You've got to be careful. Don't want to slip back too much, and doesn't want to allow Crutch to get a sniff or third. As we go through this final sector, looks like Petrucci and Miller battling over 9th now. Is someone falling in the top 10? That's great last couple of corners, Mario. Now he's in Dobby's toe as he goes into the 4th lap. And he's the second and a half ahead of Crutch though. And that's the fastest lap as well. He nicks down the inside of Dovi. Bit aggressive with the veteran. But maybe it's his time to shine as the Ducati, the challenge markers, as he just goes wide in the right hand. And maybe not then. But another Ducati's on the move. Baptista up to 14th head of pole. Espargaro. And Zarco up to 17th now. He's really charging. I'll drop him back to almost last. Veteran definitely wants some points today. He's standing into the top 10 ahead of Petrucci, but not for long. As here comes McDonald with a late dive on Dovi. But he is kicking himself about making that mistake into the long right-hander. But he's still side by side with Dovi. Then backs out of it into the hairpin. As Dovi a bit wide. And cracking battle between the top 3. This is what we wanted to see. After quite a few races for Mao, which have been pretty poor for the high standard he set himself after those first 3 races. As he's all over Dovi, he's finding a gap round the Italian. As he got on to the second half of the race, Crutcho 2 seconds behind. 2 Ducatis that are neck and neck with each other. As Mayo brushes out Dovi. Now will you make the mistake into the right hander? No. Nails it. Gets a bit of wheel spin on the exit. But he's able to hold off the factory Ducati. Now is it Mayo time. You see this so often in the middle laps. Just like it's Maverick time in the second half of races. He's up to 4th now ahead of Crutchlow. As Dovi finds his way back by. Another mistake for Mayo. Once again gets the run on Dovi. Out of a corner. We saw Dovi trying to fight back. That's allowing Marcus to get away a bit. The Ducati boys have got to keep it in check. They don't want the Honda man to run away. As here comes Dovi with the dive. Makes it stick. Mayo got nowhere to go. He's looking to the outside. We're trying to do the cut back on Dovi. He's finding some room. Goes off track. Dovi gets by in the next corner. But Mayo took it around the outside. As Marcus has got around the second lead. As Crutcho and Vinales are battling like a hell. It's all Dovi really forcing the issue in the first corner. Gets back by. Mario gets him back on the exit. As remember, they're fighting for the championship as well, these two. Mario looking to take back some points from the championship leader. He's doing the favour for Marcus as well. Forcing Dovi back. But Dovi really wants a fight. Mayo perhaps doesn't, as he goes very wide though. Oh, has Mayo messed it up? There's a chance of a win gone begging. Vinales is just a second back as well. As here comes Rossi up into fifth ahead of Crutcher as well. The Yamahas are charging. Well, these boys have been having fun playing with each other. Here come the Sears boys from Yamaha. As he go on to the penultimate lap. And it's 1.3 is the gap behind. Half a second in front. Let's see what Mayo can do. He's over Dovi again. Oh, much smoother exit. Out the right hand. He's going to dive. Doesn't quite make it stick. Even gets onto the grass on the exit. Dovi always straight into the left-hander. It's Brady Smith back in to be in the top 20. Alicia Spargo and Mayo forcing his way past Dovi. Oh, he wants a win. And he goes wide in the next corner through Kamsa. Onto the back straight. Marcus around the second in front. Oh, and Dovi with the dive. And once again for Mayo just being held up slightly in this last sector. Well, you know, he can be very strong. He goes into the final corner right in the tail of Dovizioso. As we go on to the final lap. Neck and neck these two again. Dovi's everywhere on the timing from Mayo. Everywhere on this track. He holds on ahead of Dovi just as he's 8/10 behind Marcus. The frustrating thing for Mayo perhaps is that in all of this battling, the gap has remained consistent to Marcus in front. That would show that these two, if they calmed it down a bit, could catch up to the Honda. Looks like that's what Mayo's trying to do. No, he's gone wide again. So his chance gone as he's gone wide in camps as well. It's all Dovi going round the outside, is he? They're trying to get on the power, almost into the back of Dovi. He's got 2 corners to go. Which Ducati will come out on top as Marcus is going to win on home turf. No, he's got a wheel spin. Dovi's going to win the battle. And maybe that's put Mayo on the back foot in the war as well. What a fantastic battle between the pair though. Right to the line as Marcus wins by 1.2 seconds ahead of Dovi and Mayo, with Vinales in 4th ahead of Rossi. Then Crutcher Lorenzo Rins in only recovered to 9th after falling back at the start. Minnow hangs on to a top 10 ahead of teammate Petrucci. Pedrosa down in 12th after being in the top 5 in the early stages. Then Rabat, Espargo and Zarco grabs a final point in the end ahead of
Baptista and Scott Redding just missing out by a couple of seconds. And then you've got Bradley Smith, Morbidelli, Serin, Nakagami, Alicia Spargo down in 22nd, disappointing on home turf ahead of Simon, Luti and Carol Abraham. So in the Riders' Championship, it's a tie for second behind Dovizioso. It extends his lead to 22 points ahead of Vinales and McDonald. Then we've got Marquez in fourth, Rossi up to fifth ahead of Zarco, then Petrucci, Rins, Lorenzo and Crutcher rounds out the top 10. Elsewhere, Miller up to 12th ahead of Danny Pedrosa, and Morbidelli up to 21st ahead of Nakagami. We're on the constructors' standing. Ducati got a race win lead ahead of Yamaha, 25 points, with Honda in third, then Suzuki, KTM and Aprilia. Then the team's championship, of course, Premier are still leading, but 23 points now ahead of Ducati, with Yamaha down to third. Then Honda and Suzuki round at the top 5. And a change over the wooden spoon, Mark VDS off the bottom ahead of LCR Honda Japan. And for Mayo, he achieved, well, he was better than his teammates. He achieved what the team wanted. Probably didn't achieve what he wanted, though, in that race. What could have been? You saw he set the fastest lap. But Dovi just did not give up. As in Moto 2, it was Alex Marquez winning ahead of Baldassare and Olivia. Big party in the Marquez household then. And it was a Spanish triple with Martin ahead of Basecki and Bastianini. So for bike development then, is it the brakes? Is it the engine? Is it suspension, the frame, aerodynamics? Haven't really looked at suspension. Should we actually develop that as well then? Try and have kind of even development throughout the whole of the bike. Just ignore modularity for the brakes. As next time for Mayo, can he go one step higher on the podium to at least second around the classic TT Circuit Assen? So have watching and find out next time.